Hello, my name is Carrie Brown and I am with the Central Mississippi Regional Library System. Today I'm going to be reading to you chapters 1 and 2 of Calendar Mysteries August Acrobat, written by Ron Roy, illustrated by John Stephen Gurney, published by Random House, New York. Chapter 1, The Flying Fortunatos. Bradley Pinto pushed open the door of the Shangri-La Hotel. Inside, the lobby was quiet and cool. Comfortable furniture was placed around a big red carpet. A ceiling fan hummed, blowing air through the room. Behind the hotel counter stood Mr. Linkletter. He calmly watched as Bradley walked toward him. "Hi, Mr. Linkletter," Bradley said. He flashed his best smile. Everyone in Greenlawn liked Mr. Linkletter, even though he almost never smiled. His mustache did wrinkle a little now and then, however. Bradley noticed that the mustache was wrinkling now. That was almost a smile. "Good morning, young Mr. Pinto," Mr. Linkletter said. "Are you Bradley or Brian?" "I'm Bradley," Bradley said. "How does your family tell you two apart?" Bradley grinned. "Our freckles are different," he said. Mr. Linkletter blinked once, then nodded. He shoved the hotel register book in front of Bradley. "Checking in?" he asked. "How long will you be staying?" Bradley laughed. "You're joking with me, right?" "I never joke," Mr. Linkletter said, but the mustache moved upward, and his kind eyes gleamed. "Why are you here, Mr. Bradley?" Bradley pulled a pile of tickets from his pocket. They were held together with a rubber band. He removed one ticket and showed it to Mr. Linkletter. "Would you like to buy a ticket?" he asked. "They are $2 each." Mr. Linkletter took the ticket and read what was printed on the blue paper. "Who are the Flying Fortunatos?" he asked. "It's like a circus," Bradley explained. "They're acrobats, I think. Anyway, they're coming to town Monday. Brian, Nate, Lucy, and I are selling tickets." Mr. Linkletter's eyebrows moved up toward his hair, like two jumping caterpillars. "Why?" he asked Bradley. "Why what?" Bradley asked right back. "Why are you selling tickets for the Flying Fortunatos?" "Oh, see, Brian read in one of his comics that the circus was looking for kids to sell tickets. So, he signed us up for 100, Bradley explained. He held up his stack. "We each have to sell 25, he added. "If we sell them all, we get in free. Plus, we get free popcorn and hot dogs. I really like hot dogs." Mr. Linkletter gazed down at Bradley for a moment. Finally, the mustache twitched. "I'll take 4, Mr. Linkletter said, reaching for his wallet. "My 3 nephews will be my guests." "Awesome! Thank you!" Bradley shouted. He pulled 3 more tickets out and slid them toward Mr. Linkletter. Mr. Linkletter handed Bradley 8 crisp dollar bills. "You're very welcome," he said, slipping the tickets into his suit pocket. "Where will you go next?" Bradley glanced out the window. "Town Hall, I guess," he said. "I have this whole section of town." "The town hall is closed on Saturday," Mr. Linkletter said. He leaned over the counter. "Try the senior center. I have a feeling those folks would like to see flying acrobats." His mustache wrinkled. "And they really like hot dogs, too." "Thanks again, Mr. Linkletter," Bradley said. He took his 21 tickets and flew out the door. Chapter 2, The Strange Note. Bradley sold the rest of his tickets at the senior center. His friend Mr. Neater lived there, and he introduced Bradley to each guest. Almost everyone said, "I haven't seen a circus in years." And just like that, Bradley's pockets were stuffed with dollar bills. He was the first one home, too. He found a note on the kitchen table. "Hi, boys. Dad's running errands. I've taken Josh to buy new sneakers. Be back in a jiffy. Love, Mom." Bradley smiled. He liked the word jiffy. He ran upstairs, almost stumbling over Pal, who was sleeping outside Bradley's bedroom door. In his room, Bradley dropped 50 crumpled dollar bills over his neatly made bed. "That's a lot of money," Bradley told himself. "I'd better hide it." Bradley's brother Josh told him about the burglar in Greenlawn a few years ago. Josh and his friends Ruth Rose and Dink had helped to catch him. Ruth Rose was Nate's big sister, and Dink was Lucy's cousin. Bradley knew he shouldn't hide the money in his piggy bank. That was the first place a burglar would look. Then he spied the empty shoebox that the 100 tickets had come in. It's perfect for all these dollar bills, he thought. He grabbed the box off Brian's bed. When Bradley took the lid off, he saw a crumpled paper on the bottom. He took the paper out and put his money into the box. Flopping on his bed, Bradley smoothed out the paper. He smiled. It was a drawing of a circus elephant standing on its hind legs. Monkeys were hanging on the elephant's ears, trunk, and tail. A parrot sat on top of the elephant's head. In the four corners of the picture were small drawings of acrobats. They were swinging, tumbling, and walking on high wires. Two of the acrobats were older people, a man and a woman with white hair. There were two drawings of a third acrobat, a younger one with short, dark hair. Bradley noticed small rips in the paper near the elephant's hind legs. He turned the picture over. On the back, someone had written a note in pencil. Bradley read it. Dear Mr. Wood, I hope you like this picture. Can you help me? I hate being an acrobat. I want to... Bradley couldn't read the rest of the note. The words had been blackened out by dark pencil scribbles. Whoever did the scribbling must have been pushing the pencil down hard. In places, it had poked through the paper. I wonder who wrote this note, Bradley thought. And who's Mr. Wood? And who scribbled out those final words? Bradley crossed the room and tacked the picture to his bulletin board. Pal shuffled into the room and put his paws up on Bradley's bed. He sniffed the shoebox. Where should I hide this money? Bradley asked Pal. Pal flopped down on the floor and closed his eyes. You're no help, Bradley muttered, looking around his room. Maybe in the closet? He stepped inside just as the bedroom door swung open. Brian burst into the room, chased by Lucy and Nate. I'm first, Brian cried. You cheated, Nate yelled. Did not. You're just slow, Brian retorted. I'm fast and I'm first. Bradley stepped out of the closet. No, bro, you're slow and you're second, he announced. I'm fast and I'm first. What are you doing here? Brian demanded. You're supposed to be selling tickets. Sold them all, Bradley said. He opened the shoebox and showed them the stack of dollar bills. No way, Brian yelled. Yes way, Bradley said. He dropped the box of money on his bed. How'd you guys do? I sold all mine, Lucy said. She pulled a wad of bills out of her shorts pocket. The people in Greenlawn sure are nice. Me too, Nate said. When I got to Howard's barber shop, a bunch of guys were waiting to get their hair cut. Everyone wanted tickets. I could have sold 1,000,000 more. The three kids turned and looked at Brian. I still have 2 left, he said. Plus 3 I'm selling to Josh, Mom, and Dad. That's okay, Bradley said. We can sell those other 2 in a jiffy. You guys want to stick your money in this box with mine? Brian, Nate, and Lucy added their money to Bradley's $50. Wow, that's a lot of money, Brian whispered. Almost. It's exactly $190, Lucy said. Right, Brian said. I was just going to say that. Bradley shoved the box under his bed. The Greenlawn burglar will never look there, he said. Who's the Greenlawn burglar? Lucy asked. The 3 boys began telling her what happened the last time a circus came to Greenlawn.